What up, OGs? We are back for another episode of the OG Sessions podcast, episode 131 going down right now. And of course, I'm here with my brother, Joey Allen.
Yo.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
How was your week?
My week was, well, the biggest thing was I got fiberglass on my eyeball. So that's not cool.
Up,
Shout out
bro.
to the eyeball. I think this is, don't fact check me. I think it's the fastest healing part of your body, the cornea. Fun fact.
I thought it was a tongue.
It could be.
Oh, no, tongue is like your strongest muscle or something.
Like per
that's
square
right.
inch, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
I think your mouth is like, it's either the mouth or the eye that's the fastest healing. But anyways, yeah, I got fiberglass on my eyeball at work. I should be wearing safety glasses, but I don't. I do the safety squints. And it just always gets you when you're not expecting it.
So how did it happen? Like, run me through it.
I was doing something above ceiling. So, you know, you got ceiling tiles and ceilings. The new ones, some of them have fiberglass in it. And you got to cut them a lot to make them fit. So they were doing that. And I was moving one that they'd cut. So there's a lot of dust. And then so when I moved it, a lot of dust just fell in it.
Did you know it was fiberglass, though? Like, you felt...
Yeah, because the days before I've been working up there, I lay my arms on the ceiling tiles, and then it's like all itchy, like fiberglassy, which that's not a huge deal. That goes away before the morning.
But that still sucks. Like, there's times where you get a tiny little piece in there and you can't get it out.
It's a part of the job now.
True, facts.
It don't even bother me. But in the eyeball, that shit was crazy.
So how'd you get it out? Like, where?
I mean, I don't really know. I didn't. Like, it just got in there, and then I went to wash my eyeball out. And by the time you're there, the damage is done because you're blinking. Like,
does it still itch like right now? Or
not right now. This morning I woke up, I had like crusties, and like it started to hurt a little bit, but no, it was just a really intense. Like,
when did this happen?
Yesterday.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Morning. But yeah, for like 6 hours it was burning real bad, and then my other eye started hurting real bad because it was like overworking itself because this eye wasn't working. Boy, everything was blurry.
Damn, son.
It was crazy. I thought I was gonna lose my eyeball.
Yeah, for real. I'm not gonna lie. My week was first off, glad you're alive.
Hold on, wait. I gotta turn it around. So I did finish up 2 jobs this week, so that felt really good. Like past fire inspection, finished.
Okay,
process.
nice.
Yeah, so it was a good week.
You like the memes I'll send you this week?
No. Like, I can't imagine what your For You page looks like, because like you send me so many electrician memes.
I don't know why. Like, I'm stuck. It's
because you send them to me.
It's because I send them to you. Yeah,
Stop.
exactly. So since I'm
You don't
engaging with
have
them, you're right. I need to be done sending those to you. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. I like legit laugh. Like in real life, I laugh when I see those videos. You know, sometimes it's like you kind of like LOL in your head a little bit, but like when I see those electrician memes, for some reason, I just always think about you, and I just start dying laughing. They are so funny, bro.
So I got to do like a real life meme in real life for plumbers, because one of them, okay, I mean, this is a podcast. We can say whatever we want.
Yeah,
right?
say whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, so there's this one for plumbers. It's like their morning meeting. They're all in a circle, and they're like, "Me-tard, we-tard, retard." And they're like, that's their chant before they get to going. And I walk into work at this one job that I'm doing, and all the plumbers are sitting there in a circle. So I walk up, I do the chant for them. Like, I'm ready to eat break. It was just, I really got them good.
Do you guys actually take super long lunches? Like, that's one that I see, bro, is like electricians take like, they're like coming home after working for 30 minutes and taking a 7.5 hour lunch.
Okay, so it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. Boy, I mean, but I work hard, you know, I get a lot of work done, so I can't.
Oh, no, those 30 minutes, you're busting your ass.
But what's crazy is I do find myself, another thing is they're the last to show up and first to leave. Yeah. Like,
you can't even argue.
I'm out that bitch. Like, as soon as I can be done, I'm out. If it's right after lunch, if I'm walking in from lunch and I'm like, I could probably wrap it up.
So funny, bro. And honestly, speaking of saying wild shit on a podcast, how about our last episode?
That's
like,
man.
Even pause. We have a visitor.
Amani.
Hey.
I'm so sorry.
You're
fine.
good. You want to be in it?
Come say hey.
You want to come say hey?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm gonna be out of here in a second.
You're
Cool,
fine.
you're good, yeah. Speaking of saying wild shit on a podcast, how about our last episode,
Daytona
bro?
Trump. I mean, that brother just let it fly.
Dude,
whatever came to mind, he let it out.
He has no fear of getting canceled whatsoever.
I mean, nobody knows what he looks like.
no, true.
So, shit.
He's kind of got like a little hidden identity. I mean, a lot of the stuff he says is stuff that Trump would actually say.
True.
But dude, me making the clips for him, like when I'm editing the episode, I always will like list off timestamps and then that potential clip. So like just so that when I go to make clips, I kind of know where to go in the episode. And not gonna lie, there's like 20 spots where I was like, this could be a good social clip.
The clip
you know?
you just recently posted, I laughed before, like right after you asked the question, I laughed and he didn't even respond yet, just because I knew like you teed him up so good to just say some shit, and I was like, okay.
Well, dude, as I'm going through the clips, like every other clip I couldn't use just because it was like too left field. You know what I mean? Like it was a little bit like pushing the boundary line a little bit. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, bro, like there was some ballsy ones in there. Like the white privilege card, I was like, do I put this on social media? And I ended up using it as a first clip because I was like, let's just get it out of the way. You know what I mean?
Controversial work sometimes.
Oh, it totally does, bro. And the clips all performed really well, especially on YouTube. Actually, one of the clips on Instagram has like 45,000 or something like that. So, I mean, bro, like the clips are clipping.
Shout out Daytona Trump.
Shout out Daytona Trump.
Go watch the episode.
I did enjoy that episode, though. Like, just like the fact that he was able to hold that character for so long was like super fucking dope.
Time.
And then on the flip side, like other things that are going on with the podcast, I am about to post our last soundcheck session from Soundcheck Sessions Day. Once again, shout out to all the artists that came through for that event. That was our first time ever doing it. It went super well.
Huge success.
If you guys want to see all the behind the scenes content from that event, we just posted a behind the scenes recap on Patreon. Most of you guys should be Patreon members right now. If you're not, patreon.com/OG Sessions. Choose a membership that's right for you.
And which tier do they have to get to see this?
I'm glad you asked this question because on the actual tier list, when I first created it, I made it so that it was like all bonus content. You had to be a certified OG,
right?
Which is I think like the $10 or $12 membership. Then there's also a join the club membership, which is like $5, and then there's just support the podcast for $2. Since, oh God, I don't even know when I did it. It was probably like in December or something last year. I made it so that all tiers can watch everything. So if you just want to be a certified OG and you want to support us a little bit more, get the certified OG one. If you can afford that, like do your thing. It's $12 a month. Yeah. But if you just want to help out the boys and you want to see some extra bonus content, or you know maybe you don't even want to help us out, you just want to see the content, that $2 membership will get you all access to everything on there. We are no longer posting like actual episodes early on there like we used to. We used to post like 2 days early on Patreon. That is all out the window now. If you guys want to see a full-length episode, go to our YouTube, watch them for free there. But if you want to see more OG sessions and more bonus content, and you want to see the Soundcheck Sessions Day behind the scenes, that's all on Patreon for you. So y'all go check that shit out. Let me know what you think about it. We're going to be doing more content like that, more like bonus content for you guys on Patreon, just to keep the Patreon as like a place for you to go for bonus content. Yeah. I was getting tired of like there being so many different aspects to the Patreon. And it's like hard to manage, bro. Like it makes us not do as much bonus content because we're trying to do so much on there. Yeah. And so for us to focus more on the bonus content, on the behind the scenes stuff, that's what Patreon is for now. So if you guys aren't a member over there, go join our Patreon. We fucking love everyone that supports us on Patreon. You guys are the best. My week.
Talk to them.
Birthday is going to be the day that this episode drops. So yeah, on my birthday, I'm still working and giving episodes to the people. Like,
talk to them.
I am married to the fucking game. Pretty much.
Okay.
Win of the week.
Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, episode 131, win of the week. Joey, start us off, brother. Or do you want me to start us off?
I want you to start us off.
Okay, I would love to start you off.
I think you should go.
So my win of the week is an obvious one. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a best man. Actually, no, I am the best man. For the king himself, Joey Allen, for his wedding. I am the best man. It is official now.
Yes, sir.
I know everyone's been long awaiting. Like, we knew you and Morgan were going to get engaged. Like, there was no secrets there. That was obvious. But who's going to be the best man? I feel like that's pretty obvious as well. But it was taking a little bit of time.
It was very obvious, and I had to make you wait.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I had to make you stress.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I am the best man of Joey Allen's wedding. I am so excited, brother. I'm just going to tell you right now, I am taking advantage of this opportunity.
Please do. You know, I wrote on his little card because Nick likes to make everything about himself.
Not everything.
Everything. Okay. And so I wrote on his little card, whatever, it said, in your 5-minute speech, you get only a minute and a half to make this about yourself. So
which is extrely generous.
That is very generous,
I will say. And
but where you put that in the speech is...
Well, that's the key, for sure. I'm almost done with my speech already. I've pretty much wrote the whole thing. I pretty much like wrote the whole speech. There's still some like little tweaks I gotta do, but I'm not letting.
Is it gonna be a rap?
No, no. I mean,
not that Nick raps or anything, but Sparkplug does.
I could have toyed with the idea a little bit, like before, like while I was writing it, but this isn't that type of wedding. You know what I mean? Like this is not that type of wedding whatsoever, bro. Like. This is going to be one of those like more formal weddings. Like I'm trying to make people cry in the crowd, but I'm also trying to keep my personality in the speech. You know what I mean? Because I started writing it and I was like, this is just too like formal, like too professional.
I'm very excited for your speech.
It's going to be really good.
Because I know it's going to be
You actually have a part in the speech.
I have a part in the speech?
Yeah, you have a cue. You are going to have to do something in the speech.
Can you tell me what?
I cannot tell you what because it will give it all away. But just know in the very early parts of my speech, I am going to do something and you are going to know exactly what to do in that moment.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just know for a fact you are going to know exactly what to say as soon as it comes out of my mouth. Just know in my speech, there is a time for you to blurt out. So be ready to blurt out.
Okay.
And it's got to be loud because I'm going to have a microphone, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a microphone. You're not. You're going to have to stand up and blurt out.
Say it.
But no, my speech is very it's really funny. It also kind of reflects on me and your friendship and different things like that. I hype up Morgan a little bit, but no one's going to hear it. Cass is not going to hear it. No one's going to hear it. I'm just going to
That's crazy.
trust my gut on this one and I'm going to go into it and I'm going to own this speech. I already know because I haven't what is it? You know how I'm very confident, I'm very outgoing and perfect and brave and handsome and all that. But
humble.
Yeah, very humble for sure.
Very humble.
But with your family, not with your family, but with the parts of your family that I don't really know and a lot of Morgan's family, I don't know any of Morgan's family except for the few people that I met for 2 minutes when you guys got engaged.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm going up in front of a comfortable home team crowd. You know what I mean? So I got to go into it.
You've never met 90% of these people.
For sure. And I don't know what the energy in the room is going to be like when I'm sure everyone's going to be happy and very excited or whatever. But I have to kind of set the vibe for the speech while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, bro, I'm pumped. Just
Whew,
it's gonna be tough for me keeping that 5 minutes, but I will not.
I'm trying to think of what I am gonna chant. What am I gonna yell?
Oh, it's gonna be good.
It's something I know.
Yeah. Oh no, it's something you for sure know, but don't think words. You're not really gonna have a lot to say. You just have a quick little brief moment where I'm gonna say something, and you instinctively will not be able to not say what you're gonna say. It's just so engraved in your head that when I say it, you're going to be boom, and you're going to say it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so that's my win of the week. I'm Joey's best man. I am super stoked on it. Joey, what is your win of the week, brother?
And he got a little pocket knife. I'm proud of these.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm going to add on to it then. The little box you gave me.
Yeah.
That was so nice of
You like that?
You little custom pocket knife. Nick, best man on it. And
engraved in a wood handle.
And we have cigars now.
Yeah.
You got me a cigar in there and then a little bottle of Jack or whatever. So we might have to kill that before the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe take it on the birthday trip, honestly. We
True.
can smoke a cigar on the birthday trip. That'd be fire.
I already smoked my cigar.
Did you
I
really?
just wanted to try it. Yeah, it's cool. I'll get another one.
Facts. Okay, what's your win of the week, brother?
Dang, my win of the week. I still don't have one.
What do you mean?
I got an easy one. The rain.
Oh my God.
Florida's been in a drought.
No, for sure.
Hear
for
me
sure.
out.
Okay,
the
okay.
rain, my garden. I have
Okay, let's think
sunflowers.
about let's think about good things you've done throughout the week. Did you have a nice dinner one night or?
Pretty average.
How about that video I sent you on Instagram of that guy interviewing you? I saw that you and Morgan did not neither of you guys had liked the video, and so I was like, does Joe even know that this exists?
I had no clue about that.
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy because
do you remember doing that?
Yeah, I do. It was
Where
a while
was that?
ago. It was at Celebration.
Okay.
The one time I went to Celebration. Wow. I don't go there, but yeah, I went one time and then got caught up in that interview. I wasn't really ready for it.
How did he approach you with it?
We were kind of high stepping on the way out because we had somewhere to be, and then he came up to us with the camera talking about, can you answer questions about God? And you can't say no to that.
No, for sure. And it's funny, you could tell you were fresh out of church.
Fresh out.
You and Morgan, y'all were fresh out of church. You know how sometimes when you go to church, you'll leave and you're on a little high. You're I'm gonna be a good person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then it lasts an hour and a half until someone cuts you off when you're on the ride home or something. You know what I mean?
It happens. But did you hear Morgan's response compared to mine? I was just
I didn't listen to the whole thing. I heard. I know
you it again, and when she starts talking, bro, I started laughing. Even I remember in my head, I was like, okay, this is chill.
That's enough.
Nah, it was funny.
No, it was. I think you did a great job, honestly. Your answer was perfect. You know what I mean? It fit the vibe of what you guys were doing and where you were talking. You know what I mean? He asked you to answer your questions about God, you know? So, no, I think you did a great job. On the spot, I was definitely my boy is caught off guard here, you know? You could tell, just because I know you, I was he was not expecting this question to come up. But hey, you get a couple reps on this podcast of shit coming
shot,
up,
you'd be able to say
being
something.
Unscripted, you know what I mean? Shoot from the hip, and you did a great job, bro.
Thanks.
So let's think, win of the week. What's something good that happened to you this week? Good food. Let's think food. Those are always a real easy one.
It's a very normal week for food.
I saw you went fishing last weekend.
I caught so many catfish.
Really?
Bro, it was pissing me off.
Okay, so on the birthday trip, you're also teaching me how to fish, right?
Yeah, I'll teach you how to fish.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, my
bro.
win of the week is Nicholas asking me to teach him how to fish. What a
That actually is a good one.
grand moment for me. This is like what I've been living for is for this question.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I have been kind of like marinating on the thought of like learning to fish for a little bit now, but it kind of
Why so? Like, what made you want to?
I've been watching this guy on YouTube. He does like survival shit.
Yeah.
And usually what he'll do is like he'll go to an island and he just has a fishing pole and a knife. And obviously his GoPro and shit and like batteries. But it's really interesting, bro. Like just his personality and like him going to catch fresh fish. And like he hasn't ate all day. And he'll catch like this little tiny fish and he'll throw it over a campfire. And like, bro, it just looks so good. Now I will say like a reason I do want to fish is like 50% like of the reason I want to is because I want to catch the fish and eat it. Mm-hmm. You know, I know you're, real big on throwing the fish back and letting him live. I'm not about that.
It's not even
life.
that. Like, I mean,
I love seafood, bro.
Yeah.
So like any fish that I catch, even if it's kind of like borderline on whatever, like I'm gonna need to eat that bitch as long as it's the right size, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited just to learn and like kind of get into like that culture a little bit. You know, because like we love surfing, we love being outdoors, we love hiking, we love doing all these things. Like fishing just kind of falls in there somewhere. You know what I mean? I have to learn how to fish.
I got you.
And what have you been thinking about those sound checks we've been pumping out, bro? We've been
Sound
pumping out
checks have
like
been going crazy.
3 or 4 sound checks a week.
Yeah.
So
And people are
shout out to
loving it,
everyone
too.
that's been, a lot of people like they get good engagement. And shout out to a lot of the artists that are like kind of like riding out the process with us because there's still certain things about the sound checks I want to get better at. But I think like the last 10 that we've posted have been really crisp, bro. Like you definitely had a big input on the lighting. You know what I mean? Like that was one thing was like whenever you'd flip camera angles, like sometimes the lighting would look a little bit weird. But lately with us using like the other lights and, putting the blinds down and not using the overhead lights or whatever, I think it looks a lot better. So shout out to you. That was definitely credit to you on that one.
Crushing it.
Honestly, I feel like I'm excited for today's episode. There's going to be a huge guest. I'm super pumped on it. We've actually had like some of his colleagues already on the pod. So if you guys enjoyed the Disco Cowboy stuff, if you enjoyed the King Burr soundcheck session, the Cody McGuire from the Hooligans soundcheck session, this guy's tied in with all those. And, I'm super stoked on it. This is going to be one of those more like businessy episodes, We're going to talk a little bit of music and stuff like that or whatever. But this is going to be like one of those big time entrepreneurs that we're getting back on the show for you guys. And I know a lot of you guys have been kind of wanting a little bit more of like that business, that free game aspect of this podcast to come back. So shout out to y'all. Yeah, let's get this shit pumping, baby.
Let's go.
What up, OGs? Episode 131 going down right now. And of course, I'm here with my brother, Joey Allen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm stoked on this one, bro. I'm excited to have a little bit of like some entrepreneurial, like business talk on this podcast. You know what I mean? We've been kind of dicking off the past couple weeks. You know what I mean? Time to get back to our roots a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, he is the creator of RTEAM. You guys probably know him as the man himself, Niko Costas. Yeah. See, he got the energy early.
131, man.
How you doing, brother?
Oh, fantastic. It's Friday.
That's one thing I've been loving about doing the Friday episodes. We used to record on Saturdays. And Saturday morning, bro, it's
I love this podcast, but Saturdays are so sacred.
Yeah.
Like after a long, hard week,
I got you.
I don't want to wake up and come here. I love you.
No,
I love OG sessions.
That is facts. And we did the Saturday thing for a while. Like even when we were all the
years.
Yeah, no, literally. It was every Saturday. And
Dedication.
But there's times, bro, where like you wake up on a Saturday morning, especially if you've got a long week and you're like, the last thing I want to do is go and fucking
or if the
record a
waves are
podcast right now.
firing.
True.
Yeah, I've been finally getting back out on a surfboard, and I'm more cognizant of the surfboard for the week, so I feel you.
Does it feel like the waves have been so inconsistent lately, though? Like, I just remember there were summers,
We're in Jacksonville, Florida.
I know,
it's summer.
but like back in the day, we'd be
summer.
out there every single day, bro.
That's
like,
because we had nothing to do.
true. Facts.
Yeah, when I lived off of First in Florida when I was like 24 and had nothing to do, yes, I was out there.
You're out there even
all
if
the time.
you're just out there to paddle around. Like
No, true. You just want to get that tan right.
you might get a wave and that makes your day. You're like sick.
And it's going to be about that.
Yeah.
Hey, what you take what you can get, right?
Yeah.
That's why if you live in
Florida
Jacksonville,
surfers.
you have to own a log. It is a necessity, bro.
Agreed.
So, dude, we got a lot to talk about. I'm super stoked on this one, man.
Where to start?
So are you from Jacksonville?
I like to say I'm from Jacksonville. Was born in the DC area, but when I was 5, moved down to the Fruit Cove area. And then spent the rest of my life here in town. I did a short spurt in Park City, Utah. For
Oh, wow.
almost 3 years.
What was that for?
I got a crazy cool opportunity to be the talent buyer for Sundance Film Festival.
Nice.
No way.
So I got to go out there and produce a VR and music space for a few years, and then worked at like the ASCAP Music Cafe, which is in partnership with ASCAP doing these really cool like showcases for 200-300 people, and
That's
they've had everybody
sick.
from Chris Stapleton to
No way.
yeah. I mean, it was
That's
you know,
Joey's
Bridges.
favorite artist.
Yeah,
That's
it was
my favorite country artist.
it was wild. I wasn't there the Chris Stapleton year, but yeah. So
That's cool.
It's
So-
cool to live in the mountains and see just Utah because
Bro,
Do you
I mean,
snowboard in Utah? Is that
yeah, they have a.
Did you
Don't
snowboard?
they?
well, yeah. So I grew up surfing
Yeah.
and wakeboarding, doing all the water sports. Never been snowboarding, skiing, anything. Never been to Utah before. I got the job, packed my Honda Civic, drove out there, and said, "All right, I'm going to learn how to snowboard." Lived right on the mountain, so picked it up.
I was gonna say, yeah, they do have a resort out there. I've
Yeah,
heard of like Park City.
Park City
before.
Mountain is, don't quote me on this, I think the largest continuous mountain resort in
Wow.
at least U.S., maybe North America.
That's cool.
Wow,
It's
that's
huge.
wild.
I mean, it spans like the entire city essentially.
So would you say snowboarding is comparable to surfing?
I think it's very different, but can be the same in powder.
I think the only similar thing is like a turn. Like if you're doing a toe turn on snowboard, it kind of feels like a turn when you're surfing. That's it.
I feel like it's more like wakeboarding in a way, just with like
sure.
your the weight distribution is similar in a sense. Like I guess closer than it would be for surfing. To me.
Yeah. What messes me up is like whenever, like I like having a lot of that weight on my back foot on the tail. You know what I mean? Like not in the center of the board. So like sometimes when I'm going to turn, you almost feel like you're drifting a little bit more than actually surfing. You know?
It was wild. I hadn't been snowboarding in a few years. I've had 3 shoulder surgeries, and I've like been going through those injuries. And anyways, my best friend in March was like 5 days out. We were trying to figure out something for his wedding, like a bachelor trip essentially.
Yeah.
And we were having lunch. And I'm like, dude, he's like, what are you doing next week? I was like, I don't know. I got nothing planned. He's like, well, let's go on a ski trip. I was like, sure. So we started looking out west. We were going to go just try and figure out something for like a late season. Ended up being cheaper flights, cheaper everything to go to Switzerland. So my last snowboard trip was in the Swiss Alps in
That's
this
crazy.
spring, which
That's
was the
wild.
craziest.
Where'd you stay in Switzerland?
We were in this place called Lax.
Okay.
It was definitely like a snowboard. I mean, they've got a huge terrain park, not something I indulge in.
Yeah. I stayed in Lauterbrunnen when I was a little bit younger, like which is in the Swiss Alps too, but it was like middle of the summer. So you could tell like they definitely were, there was parts of the mountain that still had some snow on it and you could probably go snowboarding, but it was all like pretty much closed off. And
Insane.
dude,
It's
it's
so
a
beautiful.
different type of mountains out there, bro. Like
It's cool because you get like up to elevation and then it's just almost, it's not like a plateau, but it's just such a more gradual, at least where we were, it was so gradual where there's just open terrain. So I can imagine in the dead of winter when there's a lot of snow on the ground,
for sure.
there's just endless free riding.
That's sick.
Yeah, I
wanna
gotta
go.
go back.
It's so much like you're right. Like there is like a lot of like open space. Like you'll be traveling just from like little town to little town and it's like nothing. Like not even like farmland or anything. You're just like out there in the wilderness, which is super dope, I thought. And it's cool how you kind of like take a train everywhere. You know what I mean? It's so
The
much
trains and their public transit is the maybe second to Japan, but it is incredibly efficient and clean and on everything's on time all the
Only
time.
experience I got with trains are subways in New York. So it's
Oh yeah,
not
brother.
pretty.
That's a different beast.
For sure. But no, dude, so have you always been like big in the event space? Like you knew that this is kind of something that you've always had an interest in?
Yeah, it was something. So rewind to like high school era. My brother and I had a band. I was a drummer my entire life. We started a reggae rock band called Side Reel.
Oh, I've definitely heard of that. Yeah.
When we were, I think I was 16, 17. Anyways, so
You all
that's,
made music out here at the beaches, right?
yeah, we used to play Freebird.
Oh,
and we
yeah,
played
bro,
the
for
Seawalk.
sure.
That's how I got my start. But during that period, you know, I was like, I'm going to be a musician. I'm going to play music. That's what I love. And, you know, my mom was, I was always decent at school and knew I was going to go to college, but I was just like, what am I going to study? Like, I don't know what I want to do with that.
Yeah.
I was looking through the degree list at UCF and they're like event management. So I was like, oh, that works. So I signed up for that and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing this for the band, and had already kind of had those thoughts. And honestly, that's where RTEAM was born, was in my dorm room at UCF.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As a management facade.
What does RTEAM stand for?
Real-time entertainment and management. So I got really lucky because I was 18 and made this company name, and the acronym this was by just happen chance worked out to our team.
That's cool.
Oh, that's funny.
Because our emails, you can ask the guys from like when we first started, it was like real-time management. Nothing fit. I couldn't find you know, like at the time of Facebook, nothing worked. So thankfully our acronym
was RTEAM.
Was RTEAM.
Sounds good.
God, that's perfect.
Honestly,
I thought it
was just a coincidence.
I thought it was like good. I thought R was going to be something like specific, and then it was just the team after. Yeah, that's funny.
Nope, just happened that way.
Heck yeah.
And so whenever you created that business, like was it specifically like just for Side Reel? Like that was kind of the purpose?
So I was booking all the shows for Side Reel, was really kind of running the back end of it. My brother and the rest of the band were, you know, more the front. I'm a drummer. I'm sitting back there. I'm like, what else can I do to not be dependent on other people?
For sure, yeah.
So it was, you know, doing the management, the booking, all that stuff, and realized quickly that I needed, you know, the facade of a management company to help get some of these talent buyers to take me a little bit more seriously.
For sure.
So created that, and then really it was just, you know, we were the manager for Side Reel, and eventually, you know, started to dabble in managing other bands and helping them book little like Florida or regional tours. And
once you get the connection like with a venue or something, I'm sure they'll be more inclined to take you again, like even if you have a different band or someone that you're managing, right?
For sure. And we were, you know, Side Reel, we were selling tickets. We were playing small clubs, but, you know, some of these markets selling 150, 200 tickets. And at the time for us, it was like, all right, this is kick ass. These are 200 cap rooms.
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure.
So yeah, that's how it all started with the event management stuff. Was I really just being like the event manager in a sense for the band.
And then at what point did you know that you could kind of take this to a new level?
So through college, you know, I was like studying. I mean, that's what I was studying. And I knew that I didn't want to do like a lot of the curriculum at the time. I was the guinea pig almost year for event management at UCF. It was right when it started.
Okay.
So they were figuring out like the curriculum as we went through it. So I knew I wasn't going to get into like hotels and conventions and meetings, and that wasn't really my cup of tea. So quickly realized that, okay, there's something within music that I could do. And around that same time, probably towards the end of my college career, I got the opportunity to start talent buying for Lynch's.
No way.
So you know, I'd become friends with the Dohertys, and you know, spent, you know, many of nights at Lynch's.
Oh, as we all have.
And I was like, man, I think I could help, you know, bring new music in on Friday and Saturdays to like freshen things up.
Yeah.
And they were gracious enough to give me this like 21-year-old kid an opportunity to test that out, and it worked. And I mean, we're still talent buying for Fridays and Saturdays at Lynch's today. So,
oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Just as like, it's amazing to have that like that impact on our you know, beaches community.
What's one of your personal favorite artists you've booked at Lynch's?
Oh God, that's a hard one.
Because there's some bands that are like kick ass, bro.
Well, we did these. Some of them are our first events too, because we were doing these concert series in the backyard. So when it was truly just a parking lot, we put up a giant tent. I'd build a stage, and we do like 500-600 cap like ticketed shows. So we did Pacifier, the Hip Abduction, and Side Reel used to like headline, and so those were different but fun. And then over the years, not anything that I've booked, but you know, there's been, you know, have you seen the videos of Post Malone in there?
No way.
On stage with Split Tone, just like he'd be playing downtown at the arena and end up at Lynch's and singing a song.
No way.
21 Pilots has been in there. There's
Oh
been
my
some
God,
really
that's sick.
There's videos deep on Facebook somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they had
Aging
roots like
myself.
that, bro.
Yeah.
Lynch's is popping. That's
Lynch's
crazy.
has been around 30 years, and they've been doing music, I think it's 30 years, 7 days a week.
In their little stage in there is kind of set up perfectly for you to kind of have that like kind of hole in the wall vibe, but also like you can get a pretty good band in there and like kind of fill that room easy.
Yeah, and Jacksonville is such a interesting market in the way that we have really talented musicians. There's a ton of really great cover bands. I mean, original bands as well, but you know, the Lynch's crowd definitely caters to that cover.
For sure, yeah.
But yeah, it's a place where you can go and have a rock band in it and like be blaring and people are not mad about it, which is awesome.
100%. Yeah. And it's cool too, because like you mentioned the Jacksonville music scene, like a lot of the people here, like sometimes they'll kind of outgrow Jacksonville, but it's also really easy to be like the big fish in Jacksonville. You know what I mean? Like you only got to really have like a couple bangers and like people know about you. You know, which is a great place to like kind of get off the ground and like get your career started. But then eventually you get to a point to where like you see a lot of the music artists will just leave Jacksonville and go to a bigger market.
Yeah.
You know,
I wish it wasn't like that.
I wish it wasn't like that as well.
Jacksonville was like Atlanta or something like that.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do in a sense, because we see the same thing with like talent from a crew production side, or people leaving from you know, it's like the brain drain in a way, and they say it for medicine and all these other, you know, industries, but
for sure,
for what we do, we've got so many people that are, you look at what they're doing now and see like, oh, you're taken over the world, you know, maybe not as a musician, but somewhere in the role of a, you know, creative director or something that's kind of music adjacent. So many people come from Jacksonville, or like lighting designers for some of the biggest artists in the world. And like, there's so much of that crew that has come from Jacksonville, which is really cool to just see and be like, yeah, we can all collectively put Jacksonville on the map.
What was our team's like first big event that you guys had?
So at that same time we started doing Lynch's, we were given the opportunity to talent buy for Beaches Oktoberfest, and I think the second or third year of it was 2015. Yeah,
okay,
so 10 years ago.
Wow.
So that was like our big first festival, and gave us an opportunity to bring. I think the first year we brought in Pepper and a few like, you know, big reggae bands, which was cool for us. And then that was kind of like where it all began. And even actually, let me take that back. My role before that, were you guys around for One Spark?
No.
Okay, so this was 2013, 2014. So rewind a few years, and Sidereal got the opportunity. So One Spark was this event that happened downtown. It was one of the coolest things I think that happened to Jacksonville. It just came and went, unfortunately. Yeah. But it was a creator, like a live Kickstarter was the easiest way to put it. And there was hundreds of thousands of people that gathered downtown over the course of 3 or 4 days. There was this like giant pool of money, let's say $1 million. And anybody, an attendee, could go vote on a project, and that person would get a share of that fund. And then there'd be certain categories in innovation and music, and those would be judged by like a panel of experts.
Wow.
So the band Sidereal, we had a project. We won our judging category for it, got funded, and then I graduated. And the next year I was able to get a job with them as like a production coordinator, but essentially like running all the music in their venues and a lot of like the live entertainment elements of it. So that was my personal first big event, and then I was able to jump into Oktoberfest.
And do you have to pay that money back? Like, is it a loan essentially? Like they're like,
no, it was a cool like startup idea where they had basically through sponsorship and private funding and all these things, it was an incubator. So one of the ones that I still see around town is the Pratt guys who do like outdoor pergolas and kitchens and all that. Okay. They won the same year, I think, as us. And that was a One Spark. I remember they had been in existence before that, but that was like one of the kind of the Kickstarter platforms.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So it was a cool idea. I wish it would have, stuck it out, but
was there any nerves going into you booking a lot of the talent for that first Oktoberfest?
I think I was just so, I don't want to say oblivious, but no, not really. Like I think I was like, I know what I'm doing, even though I might have really not known what I was doing at the time. I was just overly confident in it.
How do you go about finding bands, and like, how do you present yourself for them if you've never met them before? If you've never
I don't know most of the people we book, honestly.
So how do you present yourself for them to come sing for you?
It just depends on like what level and what. So within today's like ecosystem of how we operate, we've got our festival portfolio. So that's a different kind of buying, and then our corporate and private elements, or like the hospitality programs, which are all kind of different ways that we position ourselves or have to go about buying talent. But I think the overarchingly, like the consistency across all three is that most people will have an agent or a manager, or whoever's kind of representing their business. And, we approach them with details about the performance. This is what we're, looking for. And then we just start our negotiation phase. Okay. And we can, if it's a big act and they're like, all right, who are these guys from Jacksonville? We've got, some work and things that can help, make it a little bit more credible, or we've worked with their, larger agency at this point. So,
well, I think now you guys definitely have a lot of the credibility. Like at this day, like today, as we record this episode, like you guys have done so many big events in Jacksonville. I mean, you guys are kind of like the dogs when it comes to like throwing events in the city, especially in Jack's Beach, bro. I mean, like, cause I think, I've heard of our team a couple times just because of certain guests we've had on the pod, but really, like, I didn't know what it was. And then once, like we had Chris on, he started pointing out like a lot of the events you guys throw, and like kind of saying like, yeah, well, that was an our team event. And you're like, damn, son. Yeah. And then the first one that I like really experienced, I went to Oktoberfest last year, but FinFest was like the real like actually it was I did go to FinFest, but it was Natural Life Fest.
Oh yeah,
we were at FinFest because Madison Hughes was performing, so we were just there to see her. We didn't even really know it was an our team event. And then the Natural Life Fest, bro, that was such a fun.
Natural Life was fun. That was good.
It was a great day, and a ton of credit to Natural Life on putting their touch on everything, because it definitely was much.
It was very peaceful. It was very like nice to be there.
And the the plants everywhere. I mean, it was very like in Patty's vision and the team's vision, and it took it to a whole new level for
the VIP, like the way they put their touches on the VIP tent, where it was like when me and Joey were sitting there, we're in like these super comfy chairs, and there's all these like succulents around.
It's like
you
you're
and
in
shit.
a
And,
living
it
like,
was so beautiful. Kathy and her team, they own a nursery down in Ponte Vedra. They rolled in with like 4 massive trailer truckloads of plants and just went to work. I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Like you just made the stage, the VIP, everywhere just so beautiful and floral, which is a thing that, it's hard to do. It's expensive to do at times. So
100%, yeah.
it was, Kathy's Plant Ranch was the savior.
the
on
Seawalk
that.
Pavilion didn't even look like the Seawalk Pavilion. Like with all the plants around and the way they did it, it was.
I thought we were in the
sick.
jungle.
It was sick.
And it was cool too
sick.
because me and Joey, we were planning on going to the event, obviously, just to go see all the acts and whatever, and also support Natural Life. But the day before, we won their giveaway for VIP tickets.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck,
we were there.
We weren't even really planning on drinking. We were like, it's probably, you go, a lot of those events, it's like sometimes the drinks are a little bit more expensive. And you're like, me and Joey, if we're not,
We don't really care to drink that much anyway.
we're not really drinkers anyway. So, but then once we won the VIP thing, you got like 9 free drinks each. I was like, brother, we are turning up today. Yeah. But no, it was a
bad
really,
way to go.
dude, it was a fun event, man. And then just like kind of like running into all y'all and like shout out to Chris because he got us like pretty close to some of the acts. And it was like, I've heard these people's music before, but like I didn't really know like them or whatever. And I mean, dude, it was just a kick-ass night, man.
It was fun. And that's a lot of what we book at the Seawalk Pavilion. These events are free, or at least most of them are free, and it's hard to get a bigger name, but we get so lucky because there are some there's still incredible musicians that are national acts that are touring and doing all that have, music you'll recognize, but you're like, oh, that's that band.
For sure.
And for us, I feel that we've been privileged in the way that, we've proven ourselves, but now I think we've built a trust with our audience that they know that we're going to bring in, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but we're going to bring in good music.
For sure.
Whether you going back to FinFest, like we had Sema Funk a few years ago, which is a Cuban like Afro, funk band that is all in Spanish. And it hit harder than anything I would have ever expected because it was just good music.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think that was a testament to Jack's Beach, everyone that attends the festivals, that like they approach it with an open mind too, which gave me confidence and like, hey, we can do this. We can bring in new music. We can bring in things that aren't stale and stagnant and always like about nostalgia or, the things that are hot right now. And unfortunately, I love a good throwback, but it's like there's so much good modern music out there.
Oh yeah, like every day someone's putting out a new banger, bro. And like especially I liked Pony Bradshaw was one where I was like, I definitely know who Pony Bradshaw is, And then Moon Taxi, like closing the night out was fucking sick, bro, for that event. Like
they're such a good show too. It's like just they deliver. They've got Trevor's a great vocalist. Like they have great energy on stage. It's just I don't know, it's feel good music.
Whenever you're booking these artists, like how many artists are you reaching out to? Like I know for that event you probably had it was like maybe 10 different artists or someone that play, like 8 or something.
Yeah.
How many people are you reaching out to? And are you kind of starting at like some of the big dogs trying to get their price point and see, because I'm assuming it's in the client's budget. Like, so for that event, it would have been the Natural Life budget.
Yeah, we look at like our talent budget and we say, okay, we got to work top down. So we try to identify, we've always got like a range of like or a percentage of the total budget that we try to allocate to the headliner.
Okay.
And those shows specifically, it's usually a larger percentage than it might be for like a ticketed show.
Okay.
Or a ticketed festival. But we literally just start going through our lists of like, okay, what is the vibe of the event? Now we look at, okay, what are we doing across our portfolio so that we can make each event unique musically as well as like the theme of the event. And then we just kind of go through our short list, or if we think, something's hot that we're trying to bring to Jacksonville, or I don't know, for FinFest, it's like half the time it's just stuff that's my one festival where I buy for myself in a way.
For sure, yeah.
It's like it's art. We're funding it. It's something that we want to do, and if we feel like collectively as a team good about the music, and we're like, I think people are going to really like this, like that's for us. But everything else, we always look at like what does the client want, or what does our team or partners want, and then just work backwards from there.
And has there ever been a time where like you reach out to a certain artist or like their management or whatever, and the price tag like really surprises you? Oh God! Like low or high?
Every day.
Really?
Usually high.
It's never really
Which
low.
one?
There's been a very few that are low. I'm trying to think of like I'm not going to say it either, but
Give me an example of like a high one, like one where you thought that this art, you're like, this is an obtainable artist, and then you go to reach out to them, and you're like, damn, son.
Not the artist, but the number.
I mean, I think it was like real big fish lately. Like sometimes they just throw like ridiculous numbers out there because maybe they just don't know who we are, which I mean, rightfully so. Like their team just is like, oh, these random guys are going to pay whatever. And
yeah,
I was like 150 grand for a big fish.
That's crazy.
A bit outrageous. But you know, there's a formula to it all. So it's to a degree.
You want to approach them like and kind of have your credibility like on display for them. You know what I mean? Like, so they know like, hey, these aren't just like a couple guys trying to throw together an event, like first time thing, you know?
Yeah. Cause it's hard. I mean, our first few years, so like going back to FinFest was really what kicked us into like owning and operating our own festivals. So we're heading into our 5th year this year, this September. So that first year of FinFest, you know, we'd been buying for Oktoberfest. We had other events that we were involved in. But yeah, it was definitely like it took a few, you know, iterations of it to be like, or you had to go to the people that we really knew personally and that had supported us from the beginning.
For sure.
But as we started to venture out and we were like, okay, we got to bring in more talent or work with more agencies and try to build those relationships. It was, I like to say we're swimming upstream because, you know, we're in Jacksonville. People look at it like, you do what? And, you know, you're in Jacksonville, but
where are you going to do that?
yeah. Like it's a sick venue. It's like on the ocean and it's this
it's
massive
a great
band
venue,
show,
bro.
And, you know, it's a unique thing. Like it doesn't exist.
So FinFest is just y'all. Like there's no one, like there's no big brand behind it or anything that's kind of like boosting it.
That's our baby.
Sick, bro.
Do you do sponsors?
Yeah, we you know, we're primarily like sponsor driven. That event was born through originally my brother and I launched that because we had since like departing the band, you know, he moved to LA. He's works as a producer and songwriter in the pop and K-pop worlds, and we were looking for something to like bring us back together to work on because that was like how we just stayed in touch, honestly, being on different coasts. So our grandparents spent 40 plus years and they helped start a nonprofit in Tulsa, Oklahoma called Up With Trees. And where's my sticker? There it is, Up With Trees.
Oh, sweet. Always repping.
Yeah. So they, you know, they retired and then spent their life planting trees. So they planted, I think, over the course of their 40 years in Tulsa, like over like 500,000 trees with the organization.
Wow.
To help beautify the plains. So, you know, we'd go visit, we'd help them, you know, trim trees and plant new trees. And it transformed Tulsa in a way. So anyways, we kind of got inspired by that and we're like, what can we do? What are we good at? And what can we do to kind of marry the two together? So growing up by the beach, by the ocean, and the river and everywhere else, we're like, okay, let's do something around ocean conservation and sustainability. We're great at bringing people together. We know how to sell, you know, tickets and get people together. So we were like, let's launch a festival based on conservation, education, and music, and use that as a platform for good. So like our motive with FinFest is really to, you know, have every attendee leave with one actionable way to live more sustainably.
Nice. Okay.
So it's always like, okay, what can we do from like a hands-on learning perspective? Like, what is it that allows people to be, you know, even if it's something as simple as like going to the grocery store and bringing their own bags. Like we live in a place where it's pretty easy to do, and you can see the impact because we live by the beach, we live by the intercoastal, we live by the river. I mean, anywhere you are in Jacksonville, you've got some body of water within probably a stone's throw.
For sure, yeah.
So we were like, all right, let's see if we can have that impact on our community. So that's where it was born.
It's sick, bro. Yeah, because you do have like the learning stuff like at the FinFest. Like I think last year y'all had like a tent and stuff like that where like you can go in there and like they'll actually talk to you about like ocean conservation and stuff like that. Which is sick.
It's like our whole educational village. You know, we've worked with great partners, OSearch, the Ocean Conservancy, Guy Harvey, Ocean Foundation, ton of great Georgia Aquarium over the years, Mosh, like to come through. And our goal again is the educational village being the forefront of the festival. You know, I'm great at music. That's what we do as a company, but I wanted to partner with people that are educators that are great in that space to give them a platform to help us have an impact as well. So we've had at the Blue Jay listening room stage that is in the educational village tent, we do panels and talks all throughout the day. And it's always relevant information to people that live here in the way of like, okay, sea level rise or the impact that we're having on the dunes, like what can we do? And it's you know, experts from the field, whether it's you know, folks from Ocean Conservancy or people from even Public Works that are physically working on it each day. It's just a good opportunity to have those discussions. And then for families and everyone alike, the hands-on learning activities are just fun, but also good ways to just have that like kinetic experience to
100%.
connect with whether it's like sharks and how they like shed teeth, or we had a biology lab last year. We could look at like the microplastics that are in our water and just be aware of what's happening around us is one of our big things.
I love that you do that, bro. Yeah, it's sick. And I mean, also the talent for it is always, really good.
We couldn't shy away on that part too.
Yeah, like the talent, like it's always great music whenever you go to FinFest. And then is there any other events that you guys just produce by yourself? Because Skyway Social, isn't that?
Yeah, Skyway Social.
Because the first time, was last year the first year y'all ever did it?
It was the first year, and it was like, I give all the praise to JTA for believing in us, because it was a crazy concept. So I'll give you a backstory on how this all kind of came together. So Downtown Vision has their placemaking Jacks program, incredible program that helps activate underutilized areas. So there was kind of a call to action of, hey, we're taking submissions for this. And I sent a note to our team, and I was like, hey, guys, this is what we do. Let's figure something out. So Josue on our team was cruising around like the urban core looking for places, and parked his car and gets on the Skyway to go look for things. And he's like, wait, the Skyway. So that's where the idea was born. And quickly from there, we were like, all right, we're gonna do an event that's on the different train platforms that you can only access by the train, to get right. I mean, just to get awareness around it. I mean, for everyone that's lived in Jacksonville, I can probably say that there is 2% of people that have ever even knew that Skyway existed or have ridden it. So
I've never been on it.
Yeah,
I had never really been on it. Maybe once for Super Bowl back in the day.
My first time on it was when you threw that event. And it was sick, bro. Like, it was cool because when you first pull up, like, you're on the like main like entrance platform, whatever, and they've got the music bumping, bro. And like I think there's even like an upstairs downstairs thing. Like that one platform could have been its own event, because it was sick. And then you get on the train, and the vibes on the train are still going. Like, you still hear the music and everything's bumping.
Music, the lighting, like we've got even more surprises this year.
Dude,
now that we know how it can operate, because we were just like, okay, we're now dealing with a transit system. Like, how do we move people? How do we make sure that there's, if there's 1,000 people there, but each capacity for each platform is only like 200, 300, 400 people, we had to make sure like we can move people and force them on and off trains without knowing they were being forced in different directions.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
God, it was wild. But
because you had one of the stages were like a jungle theme. And like, as soon as you get off the train, like, it's all jungle shit. There's even like a person like on stilts or whatever dressed as a bush, like just walking around.
She was a full on tree, basically.
It was a tree.
She was like as tall as this building.
Yeah.
And she, poor girl, was like having to bend over because she was taller than the actual ceiling on the platform, but she'd stand there and you wouldn't know. She's like full camouflage, basically.
That's sketchy.
Yeah, like branches coming off her and everything. So when she would stand there, you would just think it's a normal tree, just like in the thing, because there's like plants everywhere.
And then it moves.
And then it moves.
It was sick.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Definitely like one of the moments where I was like, hell yeah, we did it, guys.
Yeah. No, that was my favorite stage out of the whole night. Like, just a lot of the talent that y'all had there was like my forte anyway, but just like that vibe, bro. Like, it was really cool. And then you get off, I think there's 3 stages total, right? Or 3 platforms.
Yeah, we had 3 platforms. So the first year we had Disco Depot, which was like the main entrance at Kings Avenue, which is in San Marco. So, more disco themed. And then you went to San Marcos Station, which was the middle platform, and that was Prism. So playing off a lot of lights, bigger production, bigger stage, everything there. Like the dance floor, the continuous floor, and the archways, and all the kind of crazy stuff there. And then Jungle Junction was Central Station, which was downtown. So it was really cool because like you got to ride the train over the Acosta Bridge at night. The music's bumping, lights are in the train, and we worked with them to have the bridge lit up in a way that kind of complemented the event. It was a really cool experience.
The middle stage was really interesting because when you get off the train, like there's a little bit of things bumping, but you got to go down the escalator to get to the stage. And so like you get off and you're like, okay, this might be one of the more lame stages, and then you get on the escalator and you just see everyone down there, and like the stage kind of like sinks into the ground, bro.
When's the next
It was
one?
fucking tough.
October 4th. I'm filming the promo for it after this.
No way.
Yeah,
Okay, word. So October 4th, that date is secure for you guys.
Secure, yeah, it's 100%. We'll be making the announcement on it in a few weeks.
We'll
be there.
awesome, bro. And then when's FinFest? Because you just dropped the lineup for that.
September 12th and 13th. Try to keep all these dates straight in my
Yeah.
head. Yeah, the lineup for that, I'm very stoked. Neil Francis doing their Club NF set is going to be sweet.
Yeah, bro. I'm super pumped. It'll probably be like the best like lineup wise, like my personal favorite for sure.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm stoked on it. Mo Loud and the Humble, if you haven't heard of them before, they put on a show like Kings of Leon, My Morning Jacket, kind of in that world.
Okay.
The Main Squeeze, who headlines Friday night, is just incredible band. They play everything.
Oh, really?
But they're like a great kind of rock funk band. So it'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be a good time, bro. I'm fucking pumped. And then what's the other one? You guys have a new event that you're announcing, right, in the spring?
Yeah. So we've got Spring Fling, which we're going to be announcing, but it's going to happen March 28th, 2026 at the Seawalk Pavilion. There was an RFP put out by the city of Jacksonville Beach to do a pilot program for the first fully ticketed festival. So, we put a proposal together and we're awarded the bid. So we're super stoked to have the opportunity to just show the city and the council there that what happens when you can sell a ticket to improve the quality of the acts, the quality of security, the quality of the experience.
Yeah.
Just because a free model is just a taxing one and really difficult to even break even. So this gives us an opportunity to just reinvest back into the event itself. So we're stoked on that.
Yeah, and does the ticket price depend on the level of talent that you're bringing in?
We're going to keep ticket prices pretty reasonable. We haven't determined exactly what yet, but anywhere from that like $25 to $48 GA ticket, which would be like, it's going to be a full day of music of bands that you would pay $40 to see. Just
is there
that.
a specific like a theme you guys are going for?
The theme we're working around is kind of the reggae rock theme paired with some other, other genres. But, we want it to just be a family friendly event. We want it to appeal to, the beach crowd and really embrace the spring.
For sure. I love it.
As we come out of TPC and all the great events that are happening. And
Ooh, that's a good time.
Yeah. It's always a good
it's
vibe.
Perfect weather around that time of year. Like it's perfect.
Fingers
bro.
crossed. We're always
it could be 95. Weather. It could be
70. Yeah, true.
Going for 70. That's our mark.
Does that ever throw you off like with the weather? Because obviously Seawalk Pavilion, for those that are outside of Jacksonville right now, it's like an all outdoor place. Like
and
if
it can
it's raining,
change within like a drop of a dime.
Oh,
yeah, true.
It's terrible. It is. It's the nature of the beast. I think for anyone that's probably like at Bonnaroo this weekend, I just saw images from there. It's just downpouring. So any large festival, any outdoor event, you're always playing with fire in a sense,
for sure,
or water really. But but it's a nerve-wracking thing. It sucks because it's like you put all. We work around the clock for a year for all of these things. A team of people. Thousands of hours of manpower, and even put the money aside, put all that. It's just like the effort that we all put in, and then we get excited to like bring that, bring people together. We know people are showing up, and then it rains. You're like, oh,
you can't do anything.
Have you ever had that happen where you guys ever like
all the time? I think
really?
Every event we had last year, it rained.
Really? Well, yeah, Natural Life has started to sprinkle a little bit. It wasn't like a killer or anything.
It was like a refreshing sprinkle.
Yeah, it actually felt really good.
Yeah, it FinFest, I think every year it's rained either in the morning or, we've had 2 of the years where it like rained for 10 minutes before the headliner or just unfortunate.
Do you have
timing.
to cancel the event whenever things like that happen? Like, have you ever had to cancel one?
No, God, knock on wood. Thankfully we have not had to cancel an event. It's usually, it's Florida, and especially the beach. I try to remind people that are, in town or coming from out of town that we are very lucky at the beach most of the time. When those fronts come through from the west side of town, they just seem to stop a lot of times.
Right at the river.
And it's like it'll be raining in town. You'll see it just over there, but it doesn't hit us, and it's beautiful, like not but a mile away. So we've been fortunate in that way, and I don't like to think about it, but
no, for sure.
It'll be great this year.
Well, there's so many factors that probably go into throwing like these huge events, bro. Like you have, like you mentioned, the whole team of people that you're trying to like coordinate everything with. And I'm sure you guys are all on the same page with shit, but I could only imagine like trying to throw, like even when we did our live show and we tried to have like a couple people there helping us, it's like so difficult to like manage like everything going on and then also try to like host a podcast on top of it. And for you've got these acts coming through where they're probably used to everything just being, perfect and smooth, and you got to like live up to that standard sometimes. You know what I mean? What's been the most challenging part of throwing these big events?
Let's think here. Outside of weather, you just never know what variable is going to come up. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a safety issue, whether it's, I don't know, bathrooms overflowing. It could be something or like we've had some crazy stuff where we booked an artist from Germany. Unbeknownst to us, he was flying in from Germany the same day. And granted, they're probably 7 hours ahead of us at the time.
Yeah.
But just stuff where you're like, okay, actually a festival we just did in New York, flights mayhem has been going on over the last month and people are missing flights. So it's just putting out fires. And that to us is like, to me at least, is an exciting part of the job.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we plan and plan and plan. And like, we've got great systems. We've got great people. We've got great, management in the sense of like everyone kind of knows their role, all the way down to the people helping us with sanitation. Like we've got a great crew that has worked together a lot. So it's almost fun when issues happen to a degree because you put our skill set to a test.
You get tested.
True. Yeah.
So that I don't want to say it's fun, but it's like it
Makes it interesting.
makes
Yeah,
it interesting. Yeah.
That's funny, bro. If you could book, like,
What's your dream?
Yeah, dream guest, bro, for an event.
God, that's hard. I should have known you were going to ask this one too.
Come on. Yeah.
Oh, actually, okay. There's this artist, and this is just a selfish buy. Jordan Rakai. He's from the UK, like Neo Soul, Tom Misch. I don't know if anyone's familiar with
Never
that.
heard of it.
Flew up to DC to see him last year. Most people probably don't know who he is, but that's one that I'm like, I would just book out of sheer
Okay, big time for the people. Who would it be?
big time. For
Like, it's going to pull in a shit ton of tickets.
For FinFest specifically.
That changes everything.
I know.
I
That
know,
changes
that's a
everything.
tough one.
I thought he was going to say like Post Malone or something. Like,
Post Malone's a great show. It's
for
fun.
sure.
God, you're stumping me.
I have a
was just-
suggestion.
yes, please. I love suggestions.
This would be perfect for like any of your festivals too. Is Krongbin?
Krongbin would be sick. Did you see him at the amphitheater?
No,
in
but I
April?
really wanted to go to that. That was like one of their shows that I missed. I saw him at 3 Points in Miami.
sick.
Yeah, that was a crazy show, dude. Like they throw down for sure.
I saw him the first time at Halloween that Sunday. They headlined 2 or 3 years ago, maybe now. And then just saw him at the St. Augustine Amp, which was awesome.
I heard that show was incredible.
I know. I'm trying to think of someone like Jack Johnson would be really cool because he's like super in, to us, it's like tying in the ocean conservation, everything else. And like
sure.
people that are advocates of that would be a great partner for the event.
That would be a good one though. Like
it's like
beach vibes, like Jack Johnson would slap
Very
out
chill.
there.
Honestly, a band that I want to bring is Stick Figure. I still
yeah.
love my reggae.
Oh
band.
yeah,
have
for
to.
sure.
And he's absolutely blown up.
And
so.
that would sell tickets like a mofo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stick
he-
Figure was there.
He sold, I think, like 17,000 tickets in West Palm Beach.
Wow. And so you're actually doing the FinFest in other cities now too, aren't you?
Yeah, we haven't really made an announcement of it yet, but we're
So chill, Nick.
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
I'm over here digging.
but yeah, we've got some other markets that we're bringing to life.
That's awesome, bro.
In 2026 and 2027, so we're excited for the opportunity to partner with some great cities. They've seen what we've been doing here, and they're coastal cities that'll allow us to continue the mission around the event itself.
That's cool.
Work in some really great markets with some really great people. So yeah, we'll be
That'll be
launching
sick,
more.
bro.
of that
Here's your
soon.
announcement.
Oh yeah.
That's all good. You heard it here first.
Yeah, no, dude, that's sick. I just think everything you guys are doing with your events are so like professional and top notch. You know what I mean? It's just cool that you're doing it in Jacksonville. You know,
We want this to be the home of it all. That was always, even with FinFest, I purposely had it as like Florida FinFest, knowing that I wanted it to go beyond Jacksonville. I wanted it to be the first place it happened and the home of it, of our company, of the work that we get to do and bring other great people together to do, to put Jacksonville on the map for that. Like we talked about earlier, it's like not everybody. There's a lot of people that are great and they leave, and there's a lot more opportunity in other cities, and good on them too. Like they've got to do what's best for themselves, but I think we're here to fight the good fight and try to continue to support the city here and try to kind of connect the bridges between those different markets and the opportunities that happen in major markets traditionally.
besides the artists, what's the biggest expense for you guys when y'all are throwing a festival?
I mean, like the production itself is expensive. Tent and decor is expensive. Insurance is expensive. It's all expensive.
Staff too.
Staff, yeah. I mean,
What was one thing you didn't expect on? Like, what's something that surprised you that's such a big expense?
cancellation insurance? It's optional, but
Yeah.
it's
What is that for? I mean,
in that scenario where like all hell breaks loose, it's pouring rain, there's lightning, we've got to cancel. There is a way that you can ensure that cancellation. It's really, really like there's a lot of fine print around that, and it's extremely expensive.
I bet. And then
So
it
you're either
sucks if you
losing
get-
hundreds of thousands of dollars, or you can try to insure it the right way to help hedge your bet a little bit and like soften the blow.
Yeah.
But most people don't realize, like, people think we just print money when we do these events, and it is the polar opposite.
Really?
It is a labor of love. It is definitely a labor of love. We're fortunate that we have a whole other side of our business that's corporate driven. So we get to work in music in the corporate world. But the festivals we truly do to try to bring cool things to Jacksonville, let there be good things to do. Because I am in the belief that if we build it, they will come in a way. Like, we'll be able to attract more sponsors to the market. We'll, because it starts there. I was talking to someone last week about this, where it's hard, and you guys probably see it, to get national advertisers to care about a market, there's got to be a reason for them to care, to spend those dollars in the market. So we're trying to create an ecosystem in the market that allows advertisers to want to spend money in the market because they see it as a way that they can get in touch with customers, consumer, whatever it is that they're trying to attract. And until you get to that point, we've had conversations with the big airlines in the world, all the big national brands that are spending money on supporting events in other markets. They just don't care about Jacksonville yet. So we're like, okay, well, we've got to build that need for them to want to sponsor it. And obviously that comes with the growth of the city, more people, more business and commerce happening here. But then if we have that infrastructure in place from the events and, things like what you guys are doing that gets eyeballs and gets people engaged, there's a reason for them to want to support. And then it makes it so that we can all have a livelihood doing it is what we love.
For sure.
So we're balancing it with our corporate work, trying to invest into that growth. There's a ton of great people investing into the growth of our downtown and real estate and all the other aspects. So why not, we're taking the helm on trying to invest into, locally owned and bred entertainment and experiences.
What's your dream venue in Jacksonville?
We're actually working on one. We're opening up our own in partnership with Canine Social. They're opening up the block at Gate Parkway, just past the IKEA.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
So they're within that space. We'll have the RTEAM Pavilion, which will be like a 1,500 cap open air amphitheater right in the center of town. So that should be open in like Q3, Q4 this year.
Dude, that is sick, bro.
So
that's gonna be
that's
fire.
a dream. Like we always wanted a space to call our own, and this is a great partnership with great people, and in a way that it'll be a mixed use container park. There's great food options that'll be in there. There's like a kids play area. You can bring your dog. It'll just be a great kind of space to gather and something unique to the market.
And y'all did the Railway concert series too,
and
right?
we're still doing those. Yeah,
Dude, that's a cool venue. Like, it's you wouldn't expect it to be a good venue for like the stuff you guys are doing, but once you throw the event, it's fucking dope.
Dude, that was another one, kind of similar to Skyway. We had a train fetish last year, I guess. But that venue is so sick. Like, it was designed back during like the Super Bowl. Again, like all these things that were kind of put in place for when we hosted the Super Bowl in 2005, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it has these really cool like decommissioned train cars that are all built out as tailgate suites.
Yep.
And in the center, just painting the picture for everyone, there's a parking lot and a perfect area to put a stage.
Yeah.
So the Airstream Ventures team that works there and manages the property, we've worked with them a good bit over the years, and we'd been throwing this idea around, and finally the opportunity came to life. And in 2023 or 24, whenever we did the first series, it just went off, and seeing 2,000 people in there and just the reaction, everyone being
You
like,
wouldn't think they'd fit.
holy shit, this is really cool. I was
Yeah.
like, I know, like I'm as amazed as you guys are. Like,
Yeah.
this works. So yeah, we're actually doing a bunch more shows there this fall, and then we'll be really in like a full operational mode for bringing in more shows on like that scale. So anything from 1,000 to 2,000 cap kind of rooms. And it's great because it's like we've got Decca now, and Decca's been killing it. They bring in great, right now EDM shows, but all across the map they'll be bringing in great shows.
Yeah, I think 2 Chainz is
Two
even there
Chainz
tonight.
tonight, yeah.
Oh shit, let's
Yeah.
go.
It's pretty funny. Like
50
some of
Cent.
the like artists, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
It's like they would have never came to Jacksonville 6 months ago. You
They've
know
been
what I
doing
mean?
a great job bringing in great talent.
For sure.
Five just opened. I haven't been to it yet, but I think they do a lot of like rock and hard rock shows. So it's cool because I feel like once Freebird closed, there was a lapse in a way. There's still small venues in 1904, and everybody was trying to do their thing, but I don't know what it was, but there was a lapse in that 1,000 cap space, and now the Ponte Vedra concert hall is going to come back online soon, refurbished in a similar capacity. So
Yeah.
I think all of a sudden we'll see a lot more of those approachable shows. Like it's not going to just be like these huge arena and stadium shows. We'll have like cool music coming back through.
No,
again,
for
which is
sure. I love that
awesome.
like local vibe. Like you mentioned Ponte Vedra Concert Hall, bro. I love that venue, man. Like I've seen like a bunch of killer artists there, but like when they're a little bit smaller.
For
and
sure.
so it's like a very intimate space, dude. Like I love Ponte Vedra Concert Hall.
What? I'm going to flip the script here. Have you seen a band in like a really small venue that is blown up?
Madison Hughes. Oh no, sorry. I'm sorry.
That's a great.
Yeah, no, Madison's definitely
on the rise.
She's definitely has like really good, I don't even mean to like laugh at it like that, but it's just so funny because we like
I didn't let him finish,
he
okay?
will shout out Madison Hughes anytime we get the opportunity.
great performer.
Oh no,
Yeah,
she's
she's incredible.
OG on this podcast for sure. Let me think. Smaller band. Like we don't do a lot of the band stuff. Like
Or even like a rapper or anything. Like I'm saying, like if you've gone to a show where you're like, oh, I saw them with like 10 other people, and
so Medicine for the People, Nako and Medicine
yeah.
for the People, that was a band that I saw. It was actually at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall. It was very like intimate show. There was not that many people there. At that time, like was definitely smoking some weed. Like it was like the perfect show to just like, it was a really fun experience. That was a good show for me. And like I've kind of kept up with him a little bit, but
I think he got canceled.
oh, did he? Oh, no way. See, like I don't even keep up with him like enough like that.
You,
But
you do not keep up with that.
yeah, so actually scratch that. I do not keep up with him at all. No,
Why did he get canceled? What did he?
I don't really know, but that is something that I've seen on the internet.
We'll
so
find out.
He
go
seems like
scroll and
he
find
seems
for
like the
yourself.
type that would have gotten canceled though. I will say he was like they were a little edgy. Like their whole group was a little. But I just remember from that night there was one dude that was playing the violin with no shoes on, and he was going ape shit up there, and he broke.
That's probably
the
why they got
strings-
canceled.
Broke the strings like on his violin. He was going so hard. Like it was a really dope. Like
That is sick.
it was a really cool performance for sure.
yeah.
So that'd probably be one of mine. But like I don't know. I mean, I've been a fan of a lot of like upcoming artists where maybe they've been on the pod before. You know, I mean, we've kind of gone to support them, but they haven't like blown up crazy yet. I don't know. Do you have any?
Not that I haven't really been to a lot of small shows like that.
Yeah, you don't
That's
really
fair.
do the shows thing. I don't really either. I'm
I've
not-
seen Garth Brooks. I mean, that was like a big.
He's small.
Yeah, he's small. He's blown up since I've seen him.
Yeah,
He
who's
don't
Garth
really
Brooks?
sell tickets. Dude, I saw a Vampire Weekend at Jackrabbits.
No way.
I that triggered my memory when I was like, oh my God, I was in high school and they had just released that first album.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then they're like follow-up shows at Cafe 11 in St. Augustine.
dude, that's
I was like, these guys
wild.
are fucking sick. You know, back in that album was just, I can't even think of the name of it now, but it was so iconic. I still love that album.
That's pretty cool seeing them at Jackrabbits though, because that's like
And there was like 10 other people.
Wow.
It was truly like, I was talking to the band, Ezra, I think the lead singer.
They're like,
they were
"Thank
not
you
gonna
for coming."
Yeah, who we are at this point. But that was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, these guys are like headlining, or at least at one point were headlining all the biggest festivals. They still are.
Yeah, no, for sure, bro. I mean, they're huge now. That's nuts.
It's fun. Tim Hall booking great music at Jackrabbits my entire existence.
Well, yeah, there's one. They just had a show. Lex Sophia was there, but there's like another artist that's from like Ocala or something, and I came across his page because he blew up on Instagram, and then he ended up doing a show at Jackrabbits, and I was like, damn, bro, Jackrabbits they have some music sometimes, bro. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's been buying talent. Tim has been doing that as long as I learned a lot from him because he used to book our shows.
Oh, really?
When I was in the band and gave us our first opportunities at Freebird and Jackrabbits and doing all that. So
That's sick.
more shows than I could probably count.
Oh yeah, well, the venue's been around for so long at this
Probably
point.
as long as I've been alive, if I'm being honest.
So, boys, do y'all want to jump into On the Clock?
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is On the Clock with the man Niko Costas. So, Niko, how this is going to work? We're going to put a minute on the clock, and Joey's going to come up with some questions. We're going to chat GPT these questions, and pretty much just answer them to the best of your ability.
All right.
They're going to be this or that style questions.
Okay.
Let me grab my phone real quick, Joey.
I got a timer going.
I love this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ooh, that boy's good
You're
with it.
quick.
Okay,
Good. You ready?
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, go.
Beer tent or VIP lounge?
VIP lounge.
Set up or tear down?
Setup.
Live band or DJ?
Live band.
Bigger stage or bigger bar?
Both.
Crowd of 500 or 5,000?
If I'm in VIP, 5,000.
Parking headaches or permitting nightmares?
Permitting nightmares.
Night before the event or morning of?
Morning of.
Local vendors or national sponsors?
National sponsors.
Rain delay or heat wave?
Heat wave.
Instagram promo or street team flyers?
Instagram promo.
Silent disco or mechanical bull?
Ooh, silent disco.
Yeah.
I got to dance.
Artist green room or front row pit?
Artist green room.
Bratwurst or fish tacos?
Fish tacos.
Craft beer or cocktail bar?
Cocktail bar.
Beach cleanup crew or merch booth?
Beach cleanup.
Zip tie or duct tape?
Gaff tape.
That's a good one. Red Bull or iced coffee? Day of.
Iced coffee.
If a headliner cancels, panic or pivot?
Pivot.
One big event or 10 small ones?
10 small ones.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Atlantic Boulevard or Beach Boulevard?
Well, I live right off beach, so beach.
Biggest flex, sold out or citywide buzz?
Sold out because it'll have citywide buzz.
True.
Would you rather lose your phone or lose your walkie?
My walkie. There's way too much on my phone to lose.
That was good. So those questions surprised me
That's
a
actually,
little bit.
that was really good.
Some of your answers surprised. Oh, dude, ChatGPT, bro.
Chat-
ChatGPT is keeping this podcast afloat at this
The
point.
Lord over there.
The 10 small events or one big one surprised me. You'd
Well, it
rather
just depends the scale of big. So to big to me is like 30 to 50,000 people.
yeah.
So I'd rather do 10, $5 to $15,000 people.
Facts. Okay, I see.
Okay, yeah.
That's where my head went with it.
No, for sure. And I feel like with you, like doing one big event a year, like it wouldn't keep you
Driven.
like I know you're always
Stimulated.
working.
I got
exactly.
different themes and different ideas. There's just too much
100%.
going on in my brain. Not enough music I can have it all.
Speaking of which, like what's one idea that you haven't acted on yet? Like an event style idea.
We've got these I've always just got ideas of things. So I love the idea of like food and beverage experience. Let me take a step backwards here. We're always looking at ways to create live entertainment experiences. We don't want to do shows per se.
Okay.
I know that it kind of contradicts what I was talking about before with the venues, but Railway to me is like a live entertainment experience because you're in a new setting, you're seeing something crazy. So I'm always just trying to think of ways to just create wild experiences that even if it's for 100 people, like what can we do to just make something completely unforgettable? So
For sure.
I mean, we've had crazy ideas like, have it way unobtainable, but maybe on like an oil rig in the middle of the ocean, you helicopter in people and you do like a crazy show. I don't know, like just finding like the craziest ideas. Like we're fortunate we work with Virgin Voyages and do all their music on their cruise lines.
Oh, no way.
Or 90% of their music globally. So I'm like, man, I want to work with Virgin Galactic and I want to do the first show in space.
That would be tough,
Like,
bro.
you know what I mean? Like just like that's
Yes.
where my brain goes.
That's
So,
obtainable.
it might be.
No, I mean, shit, you already got Katy Perry going to space, so I mean, why can't we get Niko to throw a fucking event on there, bro?
Yeah, even if it's just like one song and like zero gravity, how cool.
People
We
are
need
just
to send
floating around.
now. We need to send Chris up to do a DJ set up there, bro. Like that disco cowboy vibe in space would be
Cowboy would never come back.
fun. Yeah, for real.
He'd just float off into the ether.
That would be sick though, bro. Like I always wonder, like what goes into like we always have so many like
Imagine
ideas.
the content, like the pictures you could get of people
Oh,
cool
just
would that
floating
be?
around.
You're just like above, like could you imagine the earth is your backdrop?
And the sun
That
is
would
your
be-
lighting, like the
And
actual
and
sun.
sheer silence around you. Like,
Yeah.
it
No,
just
that would be-
captures, I would be so sick.
There's so many like different routes you can go with the event like coordination stuff. You know what I mean? Like you could throw so many different like styles of events, and you see them in Jack's Beach. Like a lot of people will try to do like different genres of music, and some of them do really well. Others kind of flop, bro. Not even gonna lie. Like none of y'all's
hard.
events, but yeah, like some of them, it's all. I feel like trends also play a big role in that as well. Like sometimes jazz just ain't the fucking trend, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like there's a place and time for everything. You
For
got to
sure.
know what that or where that is or what that time is because
You can
it's-
miss.
if you don't pair it with the right the right crowd or the right venue or the right everything has its place, but it might not always be Jacksonville.
No, 100%. Joey, do you have anything else, brother?
No, I mean, I just want to say thank you for coming on. It's been great
You guys
learning
rock.
everything.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, dude. No, it's really cool to pick your brain about a lot of this stuff, man.
I'm excited
because-
for the future things.
I'm always
Yeah.
happy to bullshit about all the fun things we get to do. I get to remind myself on a daily basis, or I have to remind myself on a daily basis. It's just like, even though when we're in the weeds and it gets a little like, stressful, but where I'm like, man, we are lucky. We got some of the coolest jobs in the world.
This is what you
Oh,
wanted.
100%.
Yeah.
And what you've built with our team is so sick, bro. Like you guys are kind of like the alpha when it comes to like event coordination in Jacksonville. At least it seems like from my perspective. I'm not in the space,
Just trying to
but
do the good work out here,
and dude, we appreciate it, bro, because anything that puts Jacksonville like another notch up that chain, you know what I mean, helps us, helps the city, bro. So it's like, you all kind of grow together when it, Jacksonville's that underdog mentality.
Yeah,
Like when it comes
for
to a
sure.
city, so it's like, it's really cool just to see everything that you're doing and the talent you bring in. And But dude, like, let's update the people. Like, what events can they be looking for? Obviously, we spoke on Skyway Social.
Yep.
FinFest coming up in September.
Yep. Honestly, go to rteam.net and we've got everything on there. But we've got September. We've got Florida FinFest at the Seawalk, Skyway Social on October 4th. We're fortunate to have just I've become president of Beaches Oktoberfest, so we're taking that over on October 10th and 11th.
And is that with the like the Ink Factory boys? Like they used to have Void or whatever. Didn't they put on Oktoberfest?
They used to have actually they were the reason that we ended up getting the permits for FinFest, and there was a November date that we worked with them. So they used to put on some different Brewval was one that they had.
That's right. Okay.
But that was the same month as FinFest. So we 904 Happy Hour and some of the other partners that were on Oktoberfest kind of passed the torch over to us. So we're taking the helm and the 10th anniversary, and excited to like bring a really like honestly super stoked on this like authentic beer hall and doing a lot more from Oktoberfest cultural experience and paired with great music. So
for sure, bringing the first ticketed event too to the Seawalk Pavilion for the spring
March,
one. That's gonna be fucking dope.
Should have another one we're launching in May of next year, and then we've got great event. We work on an event for Jaguar Land Rover, and this year, and the fall we'll be out in the West Coast, a festival for the Defender brand.
Oh, sick! Yeah, I've seen you do some stuff with them too. Those look crazy, bro.
So we got all sorts of stuff happening.
I'm stoked. So yeah, definitely all y'all go to rteam.net and check that shit out, bro.
Check it out. Stay in
everything that
touch.
you're doing, man, seriously, salute to you. It's fucking sick,
Crushing
man.
it.
Thank you guys for having me and taking some time to chat with me on a Friday night.
Brother,
Thank
pleasure
you.
is ours, man. All the OGs that are watching this is episode 131, and if you guys want to look,
As good as Nicholas Usher.
go to
OGsessions.com.
there we go, baby, and use code or promo code certified OG for free shipping. We're gonna take that down soon. So if you guys are kind of on the fence about getting some merch,
Do it now.
do it right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Leave the video and go do that. If you guys want to stay up to date on everything that me and Joey got going on with the pod and all that good shit, you can follow us on social media. That's going to be OG Sessions Pod on Instagram and X, and then just OG Sessions on TikTok. More bonus content. We spoke about it a little bit in the intro, but if you guys want to see more bullshit that me and Joey are throwing together, then they can go to patreon.com/OG Sessions. Choose a membership that's right for you, and let's get this thing cooking, man. And once again, shout out to the boy Niko for coming through. Incredible episode, brother.
Thank you, guys.
It was an honor having you on the pod today, man. Seriously.
Appreciate it.
Can't wait to chop it up again
I was
soon.
going to say, we'll do it again soon.
Oh, yeah.
All right, y'all. This has been the OG Sessions Podcast, boys. We are out.
Peace.